Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again with yet another deck tech, and it's Pauper Day again today, and we're still using Wilds of Eldraine commanders for Pauper, and today's one, as you obviously know what you're here for, is Troyan the Gutsy Explorer. One blue and green for a 1/3 legendary creature, Vildolken. I can't remember what the other half is now, but it's Vildolken something or other. And you can tap it to give you green and blue, but you can only spend this mana to cast either spells with X in their mana value or 5 mana value or greater. And you can pay one to loot. One blue, tap and loot, basically. It's an interesting card. It's probably not going to make it there in the main sort of like EDH competitive scene because it doesn't do anything else. But in Pauper, it ramps you really nicely because obviously Pauper hasn't got a lot of ramp. It's got some ramp, as you'll see in the deck in a minute, but not as much as you've got in sort of like non-Pauper commander formats. So this is what today's deck looks like. Usual selection of blue and green lands. I was going to try and say something else. Broker's Hideout's here to go and search something out. Command Tower is obviously a common as well, which is nice. Mestros Theatre's here just to go and get us an island because islands we're playing a few less off than we are forests. We've got Opal Palace is here. The Mana Gates are here. Sea Gates here. All the blue-green lands, including Simic Growth Chamber to double up off one land once we've bounced one. Terramorphic Expanse, Thornwood Falls, you name it, and the Thriving Grove and Thriving Isle are both here. So, our mana's pretty sorted from that point of view. Artifact-wise, not much. Arcane Signet, Moss Diamond, Sky Diamond, Simic Locket, Cluestone from Simic, Sisay's Ring, and we'll also count Pilgrim's Eye to go and get basic land. Silvermere and Coppermere are also here today. And the idea is we get Troyan out as quickly as possible and then start jumping, so like the 2, 3 and 4 spell slots, which we haven't got so many, go to 5, 6, 7 and 8 as soon as we can. Mainly because that's how we're going to win the game. No other reason for it. So, but how are we going to do it? Well, we need to ramp. So, Brainstorm, Ponder are both here. There are other cards you can use. I know this has got gold symbols on both of these, but I remember this time, if I do the little filter up here on Pauper, it'll give me all the cards in Pauper. Thank you to the person who pointed this out to me in a message. So yeah, Brainstorm, Ponder are definitely here for Pauper. We've got Arbor Elf. Brave the Wilds is a new card from Wilds of Eldraine to go and search a land out and put it in your hand. You're probably not going to bargain it that often, but yeah. It might be a case of occasionally you've got enough land out that you can sacrifice, I don't know, one of your smears maybe, or Cluestone to get a 3/3 attack if you need to. Elvish Mystic, Feyenoord Elves, Limewire Elves help us with the ramp side of things, and then Essence Wardens, we gain a little bit of life as we go along with this deck. Arbor Elf is here because Utopia Sprawl makes an appearance in this deck. It's here, we're going to name it on blue as soon as it comes down, and hopefully with Arbor Elf we'll be able to get lots and lots of mana out of it. A little bit of control with Arcane Denial and Counterspell, a little bit of card draw with Experimental Augur, and then back into the creature land. So Bamboo Groove Archer is, I've played a couple of Pauper games now, and I noticed that flyers are popular, and I like this one. Reach and Defender for a 3/3 with 2 mana, that's great. Or later in the game we can channel it to take out a big flyer that's causing us a problem. Yeah, have its abilities, like it. Farseek to go and get one of the plains or island cards. Don't forget we can go and get some of the dual lands wherever they are. Tangled Islet with this because it is an island, so that's why it's Farseek's here. Kalani Heart Expedition, going to drop some lands into play, get some more lands into play. We need to get up to sort of like 5, 6, 7 mana as quickly as possible. This is a good way of doing it. Nature's Law, just another way of getting a forest into play along with Rampant Growth. Cultivate, also doing the same thing, getting extra lands if we can. Elvish Rejuvenator along with Wood Elves goes and gets us lands as well. And then we have a couple of things we can potentially sacrifice to our wonderful bargaining if we need to at some stage. So we've got Grafted Growth is here. Chucks a +1/+1 counter on a creature and then taps for 2 mana of any colour. Search for Tomorrow gets suspended hopefully on turn 1, so we get that extra mana ramp on turn 3. Wood Elves I've mentioned. Yavimar Elder. Again, this is actually common in some of the sets. It was common originally when it came out. Yes, okay, I realise my version is uncommon, but hey, it came up as common in the Pauper field, so I'm happy with that. When it dies, you may search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them, put them in our hand, and then you can pay 2, sacrifice the elder, and draw a card. So potentially, you get 3 cards out of 1 card. So yeah, more than happy to pay the 3 mana for that. Commander Sphere, I forgot to mention a minute ago, is also in the deck, just to help us with the ramp. 4 drops, which we don't really mind about. We like this one. Azure Fleet Admiral, we become the monarch when it enters play. Galadriel Guide, enters the battlefield, we get to scry to, which can help us a little bit with this deck, especially if we're going to do some looting. We can see what we're going to draw if we need to. Ivy Lane Denzian, lots of green creatures in this deck. They come into play, we get +1/+1 counters on it. Love it, absolutely love it. And Lanoir Empath, again, comes into play, we get to do a little bit of scrying, and if it's a creature card, we get to put it in our hand. Which, means we have got things we can start casting, because now we hit the crux of the deck, which is the 5-drop slot. First one of which, Muldrifter. Traditional 5-drop creature. Bonus side to this is we can evoke it for 2 if we need to draw a couple of cards, or we can pay the 5 and have a 2/2 flyer that draws us a couple of cards. The choice is ours. Blue Dragon has the adventure ability, so we can scry, then draw at some stage, and then eventually cast it as a 3/3 flyer. Avian Surveyor either comes in as a 3/3 or we get to bounce something that's annoying us from an opponent's side. Beanstorm Whir is also from Wildsvale Drain, and I didn't realise this was common, so I'm going to be honest about it. I'm glad it is. It gives you the ability to play an additional land, and then you get a 5/4 reach for 5 mana, which technically you can get down really early because of, Troyan. Khalidi Strongarm is also next. Enters the battlefield, put 2 +1/+1 counters on a creature, or you can blitz it if you want to for 3 mana to pump something hard and get a card draw. So yeah, choice is yours. Crasher Rhinos, yeah, we're gonna, whether we get to 10 lands or not, debatable, possible with the ramp we have. But if we get this out of 10 lands, 5 mana for a 15/15 with trample, it's going to win the game. We'll become a target for removal really quickly. But yeah, it's good still. Elfheim Well, Vigilance and Trample. Entourage of Tress, another way of us becoming a monarch and can block an additional combat. So as long as we're the monarch. Arrogant Worm, another thing that we can hit if we get discarded. We can do the madness cost, or we can just pay the 5 mana to get 4/4 trample. A little bit below average, but the mat is here because of the madness side of things. Owlbear enters the battlefield to draw a card and has trample. I'll cope with that for a 4/4 for 5. Same with Silverback Shaman, but this is a 5/4 with trample, and when it dies we draw the card. Stampeding Elk Herd gives everything trample if we've got total power, ace and war, which we should do quite easily with this deck, and giving everything that hasn't got trample can be really helpful, I must admit. Wave Sifters also here. We get to either evoke it for 2, blue and green mana. For 3/2, and you get to do investigate twice. We get 2 clue tokens, or we can just cast it for the 5 mana, have a 3/2 flyer that investigates twice. So choice is yours, depending how desperate you are for the cards. Another card from Wildsvale Drain is Ballooner's Gatekeeper. We get to bounce something we don't control that's annoying us, and then get a 6/5 eventually. Prying Eyes is a nice instant, lets us draw 4 then discard 2, which is probably a nice way to get rid of some excess lands if we have them. Windcaller Aven gives us a cycling ability, or if need be, we can give one of our creatures flying when we cast it. If we cycle it, we can give something flying. Not a bad thing to do, Just looking at Maelstrom Colossus over here, or the Boulder Branch Golem, giving them flying if they're at their maximum thing is not a bad plan at all. Likewise, Rampaging Hippo's also here. Trample, cycling 2, 5/6. Yeah, okay, not the best 5/6 in the world, but it cycles, so I'm happy with that. Annoyed Altasaur gives us a bit of cascading fun with a reach and trample at 6/5. Duskdale Worm, 7 mana for a trampling 7/7. It's common now, apparently, according to the Pauper's filter, so it's here. Greater Sandworm definitely is common. It's always been common for Amoket. It hasn't changed, and it's a lovely target for this, and it's even better if we can give it trample with the Stampeding Elk Herd. Beat down, get there, go. Hamlet Glutton also comes in from Wildsvale Drain. It's something we can bargain away if we need to, and get the extra life, but at the end of the day, with Troyan out, we should be able to cast it fairly easily. 6/6 trample, gain 3 when it enters the battlefield. Cope with that. And Boulder Branch Golem enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to its power. Now, I would suggest hanging on so we've got the 7 to gain the 6 life, but if you need to pay the 3 and cast it's a 3/3, so be it. Last 2 cards, Maelstrom Colossus for the Cascade ability, which gives us a 7/7 for 8 mana, it can hit anything in the deck. Apart from this one, Treasure Cruise. The chances are, though, you're going to delve this away very early on to get those extra 3 cards. If you're not, you're going to be paying for this to do it, so we're not going to complain. And that's it. There's not a lot really Troyan does apart from cast big creatures. I'm sure in a more higher level game you can make Troyan the focus of some combo deck where you are casting 5 mana spells a lot and untapping it, and I have had some thoughts about it. I may come back to Troyan in the future and look at it in a more of a competitive light. But at the moment it's a case of let's get it out, play, ramp up and play some big things that we win with. That's my plan with Troyan. So hopefully you've hit the subscribe button that should be next to me here somewhere. Please do. I'm sitting at 234 as I record this. I had a few extra people join over the last couple of days, which have been really lovely. Would really like to try. I mean, we're in September now. I was trying to aim for 500 by the end of this year. Probably not going to happen, but if I can get to 300 I'll be happy. So if you can subscribe, share it with your friends, let them know, get them to subscribe as well, help me out, thank you very much. If you want to see me play this, we're trying to organise a Pauper night on the stream one day, so keep your eyes open. There's a link to my Twitch stream down below. At the moment, due to other things going on in my life, I'm only streaming on a Thursday evening and a Sunday afternoon GMT. Usually about 7:30 on a Thursday night GMT and about 1 o'clock GMT on a Sunday afternoon. So if you're around or you're up wherever you are in the world and you want to come and join us, come over there, have some games with us, say hello, hit the follow button over there. We're sitting at 190 on Twitch, so yeah, things are up. And that's it. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll come back, and there's two more videos to come this week. Take care. Glad you watched it this long. See you soon. Bye.